If you're going to be in Germany for October 2013 and are stuck for some things to do, here is a small selection of tips for you. There are two public holidays that you need to be aware of. These are days when most stores are likely to be closed. The 3rd of October is the Day of German Unity. That is a public holiday in all states of Germany. It does not, as many people think, commemorate the fall of the Berlin Wall. It commemorates the political reunification of Germany. It's not celebrated very much. There will be some things going on in Berlin that you might want to go and see. But generally speaking, it's just a day off. That's the 3rd of October. The 31st of October is Reformation Day, which is a public holiday in Brandenburg, Mecklenburg-West Pomerania, Saxony, Saxony-Anhalt and Thuringia. Halloween is not celebrated very much in Germany at all. It's quite a new thing over here, but you can expect a few trick-or-treaters, at least in some areas, but it's not a very big thing. You also need to know that on Sunday, the 27th of October, is the end of the Central European summer time. That means daylight savings time comes to an end at 3 o'clock in the morning on the 27th of October. The clocks go back 1 hour, which means that we all get 1 hour extra sleep. So now on to the events. As normal, I've just picked out a very, very small selection of some of the things that are going on around Germany during this month. As usual, where I found information about them, you'll find links in the video description below the video if you're watching this on YouTube. So let's kick off. From the 3rd to the 6th is the Autumn Kite Festival in Travemünde. There are kite festivals all over the place at this time of year. Autumn is a great time for flying kites. This one is actually called Vom Winde Verweht, which is German for Gone with the Wind. I think that's just their idea of a little joke. From the 4th to the 14th, so that's over 2 weekends, is a grape harvest festival in Neustadt an der Weinstraße, sorry. This is the climax of the region's wine festival season. You can taste the new vintage for the first time. And the second weekend, the 13th to be exact, there is a huge parade, which might be fun. On the 5th and 6th, in a place called Battenfeld, which is a village in the municipality of Allendorf, Eder, is a cattle market. Actually, the German title is Kram and Viehmarkt. It's very difficult to translate into English, but there's basically two parts to it. There's a cattle market. There's also a market where they sell household items, basically, and other knickknacks. And there are other attractions as well, so it's actually an interesting family day out. It's a small thing, but it might be interesting for some people. From the 11th to the 13th in Weimar, unbelievably, is an onion market. And this is something that's been going since 1653, this onion market. And as well as a market that has absolutely everything you can imagine to do with onions, there's also entertainment, fairground rides, and there's also a city fun run as well. On the 12th in Iphofen is the last wagon. Now what that is the last wagon of fresh produce comes in from the fields and is blessed, and then there's a great big festival. This being Germany, of course, is all very exact. This is happening on the 12th of October at 1:30 is when this wonderfully decorated wagon comes into town. And then after that, food, drink and entertainment for everyone. On the 13th, in the town of Schwäbisch Hall, is the Salt Day. Now, this is to do with the fact that Schwäbisch Hall actually made its fortune on salt. It started in pre-Roman times and it went all the way up to 1924. If you go there on this day, the 13th of October, you can actually see demonstrations of how salt was actually produced, and there are other attractions as well, including quite a bit of open-air theatre. Over 2 weekends again, from the 18th to the 27th of October in Rüdesheim, is the Federweisser days. Now, Federweisser is basically partially fermented wine. It's quite cloudy. It's different from your normal wine. And yes, this is a festival about this particular type of wine, and the highlights include on the 20th there's a harvest festival, which is actually a church service, and then after that a big parade. And on the 27th, if this is something you might be interested in the town itself, is a vintage tractor meet. And finally, a place called Alsfeld is a chocolate market. I don't suppose I really need to explain very much about this. You can actually watch some chocolate being made as well as buy lots of chocolate, and if that sounds something interesting for you, then there it is, Alsfeld, the chocolate market on the 27th of October, and that's all I have for now. This is, as I said, only a very, very tiny selection. Enjoy yourselves.